reading.
All right.
Because I don't want to actually show the
Martin
cover
King
today.
Jr. Okay, got it. Let's go.
I don't think I'm going to live to 40, Martin said to Coretta. Don't say that, Martin. This is going to happen to me also, Martin said. Then he felt silent. Martin was hurt by the loss of president. He was just getting to know. And now it would be necessary to start all over again. To try to convey his ideas to the new president.
Try to convey his ideas.
Lyndon Johnson.
Lyndon Johnson. You know Lyndon Johnson, right?
No.
Lyndon Johnson, the president. LBJ, after John F. Kennedy.
Oh.
President Johnson. Are you sure you're on that page? Because Kennedy got it. If Johnson's president, then that means Kennedy got assassinated.
Yeah.
Are you on that page? Let's refold it.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
I nearly always voted against civil rights legalization. When he also has served as senator.
Wait, he voted against civil rights legislation when he had served in the Senate? Oh wow, I didn't know that.
But Martin had more to worry about. Wary after a year filled with more than 300 speeches and nearly 280,000 miles of travel across the nation. Martin saw problems right in his hometown, where the progress of desegregation effort had visually come to a halt. Oh wait, I forgot to say.
Okay. Got it.
Daddy,
Mm-hmm.
when did Martin Luther King die?
It's pretty soon. You're gonna see. It's coming up. You know how he died, right?
No.
You know how he died?
No.
Ooh. You want me to tell you why, or you want to still spoil it? You see? No. You can't cheat. Just just wait. It's coming up. Either you can read about it, or I can tell you.
I'll tell you when I want you to tell me.
You might find out pretty soon. Keep
I'll
reading.
tell you when
Okay, keep reading.
The summer of 1964 was one of the discontent and riots. The national
Discontent and riots means riots, and discontent means everybody who's mad, everybody who's fighting.
in the northern black communities of Newark, Philadelphia, Chicago, and Harlem. Where is Harlem?
New York.
Oh. Citizens turned to violence, burning and looting, curfews. What is a curfew?
Curfews mean when you gotta go to bed. So they have curfews sometimes in cities when like there's too much rioting going on. So remember I said a lot of fighting, so they say everybody's going to go in the house. Curfew is like what time you have to do something. So when they set a curfew in the city, usually don't have curfews in cities, but sometimes they'll say everybody's got to be in by 9 o'clock or else we're arresting you on the streets. So it's a curfew and people are violating the curfew.
Curfews were ordered. President Johnson called a meeting with Dr. King and other black leaders. Martin went to the Harlem, but was forced to leave after being called an outsider. What's an outsider?
Means you don't belong there. So Martin went to Harlem to try to work things out, but they're like, you don't belong here. You don't belong in our problems. You're not from Harlem. So they were just mad at everybody. Even the black people in Harlem were mad. They were mad at everybody. So they were mad at Dr. King. They were like, get out of here. We don't even want to talk to you.
And threatened by local residents.
Mm-hmm.
What is a resident?
Local residents, like where you live. So we're local residents of Las Vegas.
Martin turned once more to hate-filled Mississippi to observe the Freedom Summer campaigns to educate and register black people to vote. Traveling through rural countries of Mississippi, the state has 4 eyes but cannot see, was very dangerous, and there were several threats on Martin's life, and nowhere in the threat as trouble as the great it was in Philadelphia, Mississippi. A search was on to find the 3 missing civil rights workers. Daddy, a centipedes have 7 eyes?
I didn't know.
I mean, 7 or 8 eyes.
I didn't know.
And they can't see as well.
I didn't know that. You can't see. I didn't know that. But I know that now. Thanks.
And some success meant a lot. Overworked from a busy schedule that included the many speeches he gave opposing to the candidacy of Senator Barry Goldwater, Martin took a break from his usual non-stop routine and came to amazing news that he won the Nobel Peace Prize.
The Nobel Prize is the top prize you can get. Like,
He won the Nobel Peace Prize.
yeah. You heard of Nobel Peace Prize?
I've seen the Nobel. I've heard of another Nobel Prize.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
It's not the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah. So there's a couple different Nobel Prizes, and it's a top award. It's a great award to get. So you got the Nobel Prize for Peace.
Martin and Coretta were moved and delighted. What does amid? What does amid?
Amid the excitement. So it means within all the excitement, even though there's a lot of excitement, there was other things going on. So amid the excitement, like there's excitement going on, but then there's also other things going on. So amid means like also other things, like, So there's amid all the excitement, they won the Nobel Peace Prize, they're super juiced, they're super excited. There's still other things going on too. So amid all the excitement, there's still work to be done, Like sometimes, like when you strike everybody out, I'm like, strike everybody out. But amid all the excitement, if Isaiah's striking everybody out, we got to hit the ball now. You got to hit the ball, right? So there's other things, there's still work that's got to be done. That's what it means.
He told the press that most of the prize money is $54,600 would be donated to various civil rights organizations, including his own Southern Christian Leadership Conference and to the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, the SNCC. And now Martin had an honor receiving by 2 other black men. city jail. His picture was on the front of the pages of newspapers everywhere. All across America, people could see the man the whole world had recently honored being treated like a common criminal from jail, runs at telegrams and important political leaders, including congressmen. In Washington, President Johnson was alarmed by the events in Selma that made the issue of voting rights of the top priority. Many black men felt a Voting Rights Act was long overdue. There was a
What are they trying to do right now?
they're trying.
Just try to think without reading.
I don't know.
Okay, so what they're trying to do is they're trying to get rights to vote, voting rights, right? So what does voting rights mean?
Voting rights mean that people could get rights
To what?
to be free,
No, to
to
vote.
have peace, to vote.
Well, they want to have peace. They're giving that. They're giving
vote.
civil rights, which means rights to be free and to have peace. But they also don't have rights to vote. So, like when Donald Trump ran for president, remember when we went to go vote?
Yeah.
Well, remember I told you they didn't always let us go vote, and they always didn't let women vote, and they always didn't let certain people vote. So they're trying to get right at this time where you're reading. Martin Luther King can't vote. He can't vote for the president. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
If the president runs for election, Donald Trump runs or somebody runs or Barack Obama can't be president. They won't even let Barack Obama be president. He's black, and he can't vote.
He
Right?
can't vote or be president anymore.
I don't think not back then. Not back then. So they're trying to get rights for
Can he
people.
be president again?
Not right now, no. But maybe they might change the law. Donald Trump wants to change that law.
How? Hey, if Obama can't go again, then why did Donald Trump go again?
Well, you can go 2 times. Trump lost one time. He won, then he lost, then he won again. So Obama won, and then he ran again, and he won. You can only be president 2 times. Obama just won his 2 times.
So why isn't it Obama then?
It is Obama, but they just don't they don't say it like that. But it is Obama. Obama, and then Trump, and then Biden, and then Trump again. But go ahead. So their voting rights means they're trying to get rights to vote.
Many black people felt that was a Voting Rights Act that was long overdue. Wait, I already read that part. There was a flurry of action between Washington and Selma, including a quickly arranged meeting between Dr. King and the president. Still, the city was turmoil and death toll was rising. Jimmy Lee Jackson, a young black man, was killed when he fought after a police officer had struck his mother. Coretta sadly recalled that Jackson's aunt was one of her best friends in high school.
So that's the unrest, the turmoil, and the riots. So one of the white police officers hit that kid's mother, and he fought the police, and the police officer killed him. So there's still unrest going on because of the civil rights issues and the voting rights issues in Alabama, right?
Yeah, several weeks after delivering the eulogy at Jackson's funeral,
Eulogy, that means like the funeral speech.
Martin regretted having yet another one to perform. This time the victim was white James Reed, a Unitarian minister at Boston Rib, was killed by 4 members of the large organization of the violent white racists, the Ku Klux Klan. Why must good men die for good? Martin asked. The eulogy at Reed's funeral was held in Selma, attended by 2,000 people. Never in the nation's history was so many from the religious faiths attended a funeral. James Reed's death may cause the White South to come to terms with its own conscience.
Its own conscience. So your conscience is your the person inside you that talks to you. So you say that man was white this time who got killed by the Ku Klux Klan. That's the KKK. Remember, that's a white racist group that wants to make white only everything, right? And there was a white man who was fighting for black people's rights, and the KKK, Ku Klux Klan, killed him. And when you killed him, now the South is like, oh my God, you killed a white person, right? So now they're realizing that this is wrong. Well, not only are black people getting killed, which they should care about, but they only care about so much, white people are getting killed too now. And they're like, man, you might have to come to terms with your own conscience on the inside. You guys are killing your own people now. Now you guys are really going crazy. You're doing too much, you know?
Yeah.
So they got to come to terms. Go ahead.
Only Americans due to senseless crime in Selma. President Johnson said, what happened in Selma part of far larger movement and reaches into every section of the state of America. It is the effort of American Negroes to secure themselves for the full blessing of America's life. Johnson would promise that voting rights bill would be among the top items of his agenda. 59-mile march was proposed to go from Selma to Alabama state capitol, the city of Montgomery, to take the trip, and the marchers would have to cross a bridge along the well-traveled highway. George Wallace was then the governor of Alabama, was a fierce opponent of the civil rights movement, vowed to not permit the march because he would tie the highway traffic. It would be a very dangerous trip. Some SNCC leaders opposed it. Even so, when the decision was made, Osa Williams, the leader of SCLC, and the SNCC leader, John Lewis, were out front marching side by side.
Okay, so they're marching now to the capital of Alabama from Selma, down the freeway. So they're marching. When we drive down the freeway, imagine there are like hundreds and thousands of black people marching, walking down the side of the freeway for civil rights on their way to the Capitol. That's crazy, right?
Can we drive with them?
Well, you could drive with them or you could march with them. Definitely. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Tomorrow. It's part, 7, 8?